Below the Glen Canyon Dam, where Lake Powell ends and the breathtaking Colorado begins, there's a stretch of river few ever experience like this, by paddleboard. No roads, no rush, just grit, gear, and the one you love. Our goal? To camp beneath one of the most famous landmarks in the country, Horseshoe Bend. But first, we had to get there. Hi, I'm Mike, and this is Mike's Road Trip.
Get off the road!
All right. On this episode, I'm going to share with you an epic adventure paddleboarding down the Colorado River around one of the most iconic landmarks in the world, Horseshoe Bend. So come along with me. Let me show you around. Our journey started in Phoenix, heading north toward cooler air and open skies. Our first stop was Sunset Crater, a scar in the earth from a volcanic eruption over 900 years ago. The black lava flows and cinder fields feel like another planet, stark, quiet, and raw. Just down the road is Wupatki. These ancient dwellings are home to the ancestral Puebloans, standing for over 800 years, a place of wind, memory, and stone. A bit later, we dropped down into Marble Canyon and walked onto the Navajo Bridge. Below us, the very river we'd soon be paddling. This was our first glimpse of the Colorado, winding and waiting. Continuing down 89A, the awe-inspiring Vermilion Cliffs began to reveal themselves. We stopped at the original Cliff Dwellers site where giant boulders were turned into homes by settlers nearly a century ago. This is such a fun stop to roam around these rock structures and giant boulders. By late afternoon, we reached our home for the night, Cliff Dwellers Lodge, a humble outpost tucked against the base of the Vermilion Cliffs, where the desert meets the sky in layers of burnt orange and crimson stone. It's the kind of place that's part roadside relic, part wilderness base camp, and full of low-key charm. We got to work inflating our paddle boards and packing our gear. With everything ready for the next day, we kicked back on the porch with a couple of cocktails, watching the light fade across the cliffs. Later that evening, we grabbed dinner at the lodge restaurant, which was actually better than we expected. The next morning, we headed out early and drove back toward Marble Canyon, where the landscape continued to impress and mystify. Our destination was Lees Ferry, the official put-in point for rafting trips heading down the Colorado River toward the Grand Canyon. While most were heading downriver, we were going up. We met up with the crew from Kayak Horseshoe Bend for a backhaul ride, a 40-minute boat trip upstream that would drop us into the quiet part of Glen Canyon. The ride itself was so worth the trip. Calm water, canyon walls closing in, and echoes that made even the hum of the motor feel distant. Eventually, we reached our drop-off point just below the dam, an unmarked pullout with no signs, no crowds, just silence and sun. Once ashore, we started to unload all of our gear and then began the task of situating our gear onto the boards.
I'm trying to visualize you guys going back.
We are too.
I'm doing the math. I'm like, okay, so.
You still have your Canadian accent.
I do. Mike's Road Trip.
.com.
Hey, we made it with all of our stuff. Now, how do we get all this on our boards? We have no idea.
Took us a while to pack up these paddle boards, but we're now finally off.
Yep. There you go. Mr. Lowrider.
So we're at our very first stop. A boat just went by, so that's why the waves are here. But this is a very cool trail. It's called the Ropes Trail. You can also camp out here. But what's neat about it is there's some petroglyphs, and there's a trail that takes you all the way to the top, where if you're familiar with the Beehives campground or Beehives hiking area, that's about where it takes you.
Jody had paddled ahead and completely missed the spring, and I just had to check it out.
Oh wow, nature filtered water. No paddling required here. So that is Horseshoe Bend, or the observation area.
There are quite a few places to camp along this 17-mile stretch, and each have a bathroom. Since there were not many people right below Horseshoe Bend, about the halfway mark, we decided to pull the trigger and set up camp. It was only about 1 p.m., but since we had this wonderfully secluded area with a shade tree, we ended up finding plenty of things to keep us busy.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. Mike's spot for the next 5 hours.
45 minutes. How is it?
Oh, it sucks. It's amazing.
During the afternoon hours, after relaxing in the hammock, we listened to some music, played some chess, and then played in the water a bit on our boards without all the gear. Down the beach from us, kids played in the sand and water. Onlookers from the top of Horseshoe Bend squinted down on us some 1,000 feet, and the last of the backhaul boats passed by for the day. As the sun faded, I cooked dinner, which was a pasta dish with roasted vegetables and freshly grated Parmesan. Afterwards, Jody cleaned up, and as darkness descended, we had a fantastic fire from wood we hauled in a dry bag. The next morning was absolutely glorious. We packed up our boards, watched a few people pass by, and finally set off ourselves for our second day on the mighty Colorado.
Well, that's our campsite right behind us. We had a fantastic evening, and now we're heading back to Lees Ferry for our second day of paddling. This is 8 Mile Campground. Well, I have to say this is one of the coolest adventures I have done in a while. It is absolutely stunning in here. I should mention it is mid-May 2025, and I would say this is the absolute perfect time to do this adventure. What else is really cool is behind me there are these sheer cliffs, and then we just docked on this beautiful beach on the other side to have a snack, get a drink of water, reorganize things, what have you. Absolutely amazing in here.
That was a little sketchy on those rocks.
Oh, no. Man, those rocks, my fins started hitting. I was like, that made me very nervous.
I know, that's the reason for a river fin.
Yeah.
So I should probably do a review one of these days on my new paddleboard. I just got it for this trip, and I have traditionally been a kayaker, and my girlfriend has a paddleboard, so I thought I would get one, and it is just awesome. And it was a little bit of a challenge to figure out which one to get because boat has so many variety.
If you have any questions about this boat lowrider hybrid board, leave a comment below. Otherwise, check back for a review video soon.
Be cool. Well, we're on the tail end of this trip. I think we have maybe about 3/4 to a mile left. And we're in kind of a long stretch to get to Lees Ferry. Unfortunately, the wind keeps kicking up and it's kind of a haul to get through here. A lot of paddling, but we're just about there. It's been a fantastic trip. We did about 16 miles. First day, we did about 7 miles, and today about 9 miles.
Okay, we're almost there. Well, that's it from this epic paddle trip down the Colorado River around Horseshoe Bend. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more road trip adventure videos. So until next time, we'll see you on the road.
MikeRoadTrip.com